There we are.
Okay, so we've got Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Allentown, Reading.
Hi, I'm Davey Thompson, and you're watching Cybernet.
Go for gold with this week's Cybernet. Taking a giant leap for mankind, running through the hottest properties, and putting you right with enough news to fill a stadium. I'm Lucy Longhurst, and I'm pleased to say you've joined the winning team. Last week, the computer and games industry flocked to London for the European Computer Trade Show, and one of the highlights of the event was the ECTS Awards, a prestigious occasion where the industry decided who should be recognised for their achievements over the last year. And here's the results. Winner of the most original new title went to Team 17 and Ocean for their slithery skill game Worms. Edutainment reference product went, not surprisingly, to Encarta 96. The Sony PlayStation won the Best Hardware Award, whilst Game of the Year in Scandinavia was Golden Oldie Full Throttle. But the Italians and Germans went for War Sim Command and Conquer. The Spanish went for the most original winner, Worms. The big computer trade mag CTW had its own awards for marketing. The bronze went to Sega Europe, the silver to Virgin Interactive Entertainment, and the gold to Sony. Developer of the year went to those folks responsible for Wipeout's Psygnosis. The computer software winner was, not surprisingly, Command and Conquer. And the video game of the year was the Saturn version of Virtua Fighter 2. And probably the most sought-after award of software publisher went to Virgin Interactive Entertainment. So now you know.
The world is in great danger.
Not from aliens this time, but from a nasty boy who doesn't have many pets.
The animals, they've been physiologically inanematized. That means changed into statues. See what I mean?
Yes, we do, Professor. And so, with some help from Mortimer the Flying Snail, it's off to save the animals by zapping them with the Revitoscope. All these problems were caused by Lodius, one of the Professor's students who stole a powerful medallion for his own devious use.
Hey, nice job!
The only way to stop Lodius is to find the parts of the medallion which are now scattered throughout different parts of the world. And to do that, you need to answer questions about the animals you've just saved. Luckily, Mortimer can help you out.
Somehow he knows what we're up to.
But how does he know?
A group of baboons.
Each time you save an animal, Mortimer can help you talk to them. And what they say can help you get a piece of that medallion.
Always protected.
You got it, you got it, you got it, yeah. You got the right answer. You got it, you got it, you got it, yeah. A piece of the medallion, yeah.
Playing with too much power is yet another baddie in Criticom, an emperor whose crystal makes him the boss. But even emperors get sloppy and the crystal is stolen, leaving the galaxy's strongest warriors to fight for the most powerful force in the universe. Well, you knew the original storyline couldn't last long, and here we have another battle fest in an already crowded PlayStation market. On first glance, the mixture of monsters, robots and human opponents is nothing new. But play a while and you'll see the characters transform in shape and fighting style as they progress. It's certainly fast and colourful, but polygons tend to slip and slide, and some of the body shapes are just a little too awkward to look right. Combination moves are reasonably tricky to pull off, and you'll definitely need them as kicks and swipes alone do very little damage. So, all in all, it's the usual story of very pretty animation sequences and rushed gameplay, which is a shame as mutating characters is a neat idea. PlayStation owners already have some great games, and impressing them is getting tougher all the time. But the good thing is it keeps those game designers on their toes.
Player 2, Triumph.
I declare, before all gathered here, you are now truly a knight of the Round Table.
Fans of the King Arthur legends, bored with books and films, can now play Chronicles of the Sword, an adventure where you play Gawain, the noble knight who must save the kingdom by solving a magical mystery.
Strange the way they always seem to follow you. I wonder if I pressed this.
This is one of those walk around, ask questions and pull the secret lever games, and much of its appeal depends on whether you enjoy a slow pace and letting your hero say some very unoriginal lines.
I bid you good day, Merlin. My Lord Arthur has sent me here. You have a task for me to complete.
Of course he does. The magic-wielding Morgana must be stopped, and you'll have to learn what you're up against from some good and not so good people around the castle. The sticking points are long pauses between locations, more gaps between dialogue, and some of the stiffest-looking animation we've seen for quite some time. Things improve a little further on, but our hero is still somebody you wouldn't want to be stuck with at a party.
The water it looks so cool and pure. Almost entrancing.
Chronicles does have some attractive features, but do try it out first. These days, no one wants to get a nasty shock. There's just no getting away from King Arthur this week, and here's a package all about him. Legends of Arthur is a new multimedia package that gives you all the information you could possibly want to know about this hero of long ago.
14 centuries. The shadowy but powerful figure of Arthur has been distorted by poets, chroniclers, politicians and kings.
Everything's laid out clearly, and there are 3 main doors to go through. This one will take you to a very modern-looking room, which is called the History section. Here you can find out about the more factual and historical side of Arthur, and not surprisingly, almost everything in the room can be interacted with. For example, click on the filing cabinet for a lowdown on the characters and events of the time.
In France, Arthur, or Arthur, is commonly perceived to have been a Gaulish warrior by the Celts of Brittany, and to this day they have nothing but scorn for any suggestion that he came from anywhere other than France.
And if you find the red book, you'll be transported to Arthur's Quest. It's basically a simple board game where you play the knight who has to get from one castle to another, collecting things and avoiding baddies along the way. A bit pointless, but fun all the same, and it does take a bit of practice. The next stop is Merlin's Cave, which is a grotto full of facts, figures, secrets and legends. All you have to do is find them. But my favourite is the Myths section. In here you'll find loads of legends and stories, plus info about all the characters in Arthur's Circle. Just click on the name you want to know more about, and there's a mine of information waiting there. And of course, there's video clips.
The vision of Arthur, as inspired by the 19th century romantic writers, is the one which will continue to evoke images of chivalry, courtly traditions, fair maidens and heroic knights.
If you're really into the Arthurian legends, this package probably won't tell you much more than you know already, but it's still great to see it all brought to life. For those who just want to learn, then this comes highly recommended. Of course, whether you believe that King Arthur is man or myth, that's left totally up to you to decide.
He girded on his peerless sword called Caliburn, which was forged in the Isle of Abaddon.
Why bother leaving the house when you can make new friends over the net? Cybernetting shows you how in 2 minutes flat. The latest way to meet people via your modem makes internet chatting as easy as WWW. Global Chat from Net Supremo's Quarterdeck is the first easy-to-use real-time chat software that can be downloaded from the World Wide Web. You can now use the web to navigate your way through chat space. Just click on the right sort of link and Global Chat will automatically open your connection to the right server. Even better news is that you can download Global Chat for free. Just follow the instructions and you're in a whole new world. The first thing you'll want to know is where the chat sites are, and Quarterdeck's Internet Chat Guide schedule is the best place to start. It doesn't give you a full list of sites, but there's certainly enough to be getting on with, and it's updated regularly. It lists events, hosted talks on various topics, and unhosted open rooms which go on all day and night all over the world. It even tells you which rooms are suitable for which age groups, and the rooms themselves are monitored at all times to keep everything under control. Everything, that is, apart from the lack of sleep you'll experience once you get hooked. Here's how it works. The first time you click on a chat link, the browser will ask you to configure a viewer to chat in. All you need to do is enter the name of the file where your global chat exe file lives. Once you've done this once, you shouldn't have to do it again. At this point, global chat should appear. It'll ask you to type in both your real name and a nickname that you'll use in the chat. The viewer is split up into 3 windows. The big one is where the chat appears, the bottom one is where you type your messages, and the one to the right is a list of all the users in the room. And basically that's it. Just type in what you want to say and hit the return key. There's not much else to it. As you chat more, you'll learn how to perform actions, talk to just one person at a time, and even create a room of your own. Finally, the World Wide Web is starting to bring people closer together. Who knows, you could soon have friends all over the world. If you think these guys are tough, you should go up against this lot. Stay right there and find out more. We've been running and jumping around the planet for quite a while, and eventually someone turned all this activity into a sport. 10 events make up the decathlon, and we caught a look at a game that's bringing it to the PC. World Class Decathlon is an update of a really popular game on the ZX Spectrum that was made in the 1980s. It's still in a very early stage, but it's starting to shape up as a simulation with a bit of a difference. From the shot put to the high jump, it's getting the professional touch from a double Olympic champion.
Hello, I'm Daley Thompson, and welcome to my world-class decathlon game.
Brought in to be your personal advisor on how to do things right, Daley Thompson is the latest personality hitting CD-ROM. But with so many sports games around, there has to be a reason why decathlon is getting the royal treatment.
What it does do, it introduces a strategy, because one of the nice things about, I feel, about the decathlon is that it's a bit of a chess game. You go into it with strengths and weaknesses, and from training and all that kind of stuff, you change those, and the same with the game.
So it's all about balancing those skills and making sure you pace yourself over all 10 events, whoever your personalised athlete runs for. Most of us will never match Daley's achievements, but a few words of wisdom might help us with the game.
The only 2 things that I think I've really learned is that, 1, whatever you're doing, you have to work hard at it, and 2, you have to believe you can do it. If you do those 2 things, I think you can be successful at anything.
Decathlon should be out for the Olympics, and we'll check on it then to see if it lives up to Daley's double gold standard.
You only get 1 chance here, so give it your best.
Will be cooking directly ahead, sir.
Target their bridge! Full disruptors!
Star Trek is an absolute phenomenon, and there's been loads of video games and interactive packages based on it. Now get ready for even more.
Bridge, we have a new problem! All right, let's move them out. Let's go. Take them out.
Now Trekkies everywhere can indulge themselves further. The delights of Star Trek are available in 2 new packages. First up is Deep Space Nine, Harbinger. Instead of being a reference title, it's a game, and you get to play as a Tyrian delegate with the Deep Space Nine crew. If you listen carefully, you'll notice that the voices in the game are the same as the TV series, and that's because they've been done by the same people.
Odo to Cisco.
Go ahead.
I'm on board the Orinoco, Captain. The automatic safety systems have failed.
I can read...
The aim of the game is to battle deadly enemies, track down a space station criminal, and come face to face with some aggressive aliens in a desperate fight to save the Federation planet from total destruction. Phew. But it's not just about flying around trying to find things. There's mind-bending puzzles, and you'll need pretty good judgment and fast reflexes for parts of it.
Damage report.
If you're into graphic adventures, you'll probably enjoy this, and it's a bit of a must for Deep Space Nine fans. But if after all that planet saving you're feeling a bit exhausted, then this next one's not for you.
You outsiders, you see only our fierceness, our love of battle. You do not see the tech that shapes our every act.
Well, I'm not sure about him, but you'll want all your energy for Star Trek Klingon, a new role-playing game where you'll need to know everything possible about those creatures with funny bumps on their faces.
Honor me by taking them.
It's directed by Jonathan Frakes, who's better known as Commander William Riker in the Next Generation series, who'll also be directing the next Trekkie movie. The game features first-person perspective as well as full-motion video, so you feel like you're right in there. Well, almost. One of the best things about this is the fact that there's a non-interfering interface, which basically means the screen isn't cluttered.
I hope they're still alive!
During the game, you'll be subjected to some serious training involving tests on Klingon vocabulary, customs, and even table manners. Funny, I thought they didn't have any. If you make one false move, it could all end horribly, leaving you at the mercy of the Klingons. However, if you do well, you'll advance to a higher level, and if you're really good, you might even get the chance to command your own bird of prey. But between you and me, I'd feel a lot safer on the Enterprise, and at least I wouldn't have to put up with their awful singing. In the biggest ever battle of the formats, can there really be one winner? Back at the start of 1995, console players held their breath waiting for the first glimpse of the future. We heard tales of arcade-perfect conversions, more bits per box, and a whole new world of interactive entertainment. We were holding our breath for the next generation.
64-bit console that actually tests the ability of a television screen.
Technically, the PlayStation is a revolutionary advance in video game technology.
The Sega Saturn is truly a revolutionary product.
So now the next generation's finding its feet, how are the new arrivals getting along? Well, anyone still holding their breath for Nintendo's new baby better get a new set of lungs, seeing how the parents can't even decide on a name, let alone a birth date. Which has left Sega and Sony all alone in the playpen, fighting over their toys. Although reliable figures are hard to come by, Sony claim their PlayStation has outsold Sega's Saturn by anything from 2 to 5 to 1, with around 4 million PlayStation owners worldwide. They say it's their most successful machine since the Walkman, and every department in the company is trying to take the credit. But can the organization behind Sonic the Hedgehog really be out for the count? A few years ago, Sega's main rival on the gaming scene was Nintendo, a seemingly unbeatable giant. But the Big N seems to have dropped the ball with their 64-bit no-show. So why did Sony, as the gaming newcomers, manage to pick up the interception ahead of Sega?
Sony has come into the business at a time where we can make an impact with our own technology. Sony presses more than half of the CD-ROM discs in the world today. We own a record company, we own a motion picture studio, and we also own a number of software companies. So the PlayStation is a place where a number of different parts of the company can come together to create incredible content for the hardware system that we've developed.
But Sega do have an established foothold in Japan, the mother of all gaming markets. The lateness of the 64, the success of the PlayStation, and a recent decision to make the Saturn even cheaper than the SNES have meant that Sega's share of the Japanese gaming market has risen to about a third, while Nintendo's has dropped to about a third. So the Saturn might be seeing stars, but it hasn't had rings run round it yet. While Sony have benefited from their experience in worldwide marketing, Sega have traded on their name as an established video games company with an excellent catalogue of arcade titles just waiting to hit your home. On top of the Saturn's price cut, top-quality arcaders like Virtua Fighter and Sega Rally have done more for the Saturn than any amount of marketing muscle. While Sony can tackle a huge but very wide target, Sega knows what existing gamers want, and that's an arcade in their living room. Sega can rely on fewer top titles to sell their machine, which was illustrated over the '95 holiday period, when they happily claimed to be neck and neck with Sony on hardware sales and even overtaking them, a claim that's held up by most stores. Sega Rally Championship, Virtua Cop and VS2 have held the line for Sega after a very slow start in the software race. But news that Psygnosis, formerly Sony Interactive, are porting their best games to Saturn, and that Heart of Darkness will debut on their console instead of PC/CD, proves a definite show of teeth from Sega. But their biggest bite is yet to come. While PlayStation owners can look forward to Ridge Racer Revolution and Tekken 2, Sega have just revealed Knights, an incredible-looking game from the team behind Sonic the Hedgehog. Have they done this to keep Sony at bay? Well, they say they're ready to put the competition's lights out, and that includes Nintendo. I love it when they talk tough. There are no conclusions worth drawing about which machine is better, which company will win, or what's going to happen over the next few months. But if prices keep coming down and the big companies keep pushing even hotter titles onto the shelves, who's complaining? Let's shut up and let them get on with it. Now let's get on and see which PlayStation and Saturn games are in this week's top 10. Crashing in at number 10 is Destruction Derby, while Wipeout's floating at the number 9 slot. Still flying high at 8, it's Magic Carpet. Back down to earth and slam dunking at 7, it's Total NBA 96. Staying sporty at 6 for FIFA 96. Zooming in at 5, it's the Need for Speed. While Actua Soccer kicks in at 4. Slithering in at 3 are those award-winning worms. The mighty X-Men battle their way straight in at number 2. But yet again, those scary aliens hang in at the top spot. Get set Saturn fans, because if you've got a copy of top arcade game Virtua Fighter 2, here's a couple of cheats to add that little bit extra to the game. A big feature of the arcade version was the fact that you could play as the mighty Dural, and fortunately this was kept in the Saturn version.
Ready, go!
But how do you get your hands on the Combat Queen? Well, you're watching the right show, because now we'll show you how. When you get to the player select screen, tap in the following: down, up, right, and A and left together. When you start the game, you'll notice the Silver Wonder will be at your disposal. But that's not all. If you've got a mate who's feeling a bit left out, then there is an option to add a second Dural. Almost the same as before, except this time press down, up, left, and A and right together on the second joypad. Now that's much fairer, isn't it? Although you could select Dural in the first game, this time round she's much more powerful. So get practicing those kick flips and counter-attacks. And if you get really good, there's even a forward triple kick. Should we tell you how it's done? Nah, we'll let you find it yourself. That's enough help for now.
Time over.
Yeah, you guessed it. It's time over for me too, because we've run out of the stuff. But never fear, we've got a terrific show lined up for next time, so there's something to look forward to. Until then, I'll leave you with the amazing intro sequence from Criticon. Don't forget to keep writing and emailing us. See you soon.